Interesting to note, isn't it, with Meghan Markle, how really it's a tough stretch to try and make advertisers, if you like, sponsorship deals come forward. I'm not laughing, as I often say, because having worked in this industry a long time, let me tell you, it's very hard to get sponsorship and backing for anything unless it's a proven success. There lies your problem. You have to prove to them that they're well worth investing in. And even at that point, they only really want to come in when they know they've got a surefire winner and they can scoop up most of the money. But what's interesting really about this particular, shall we say, ongoing problem for Meghan is, as we know, she wanted desperately to become the face of something like Dior or perhaps a jewellery brand, something of a bigger stretch, but sadly that wasn't forthcoming. Now all be down simply to this. As ever, let me explain. Morning, Neil Sean here in the very heart of London, a wet and rainy London today. I hope you're all keeping well, fine and dandy, whatever you're doing. It's interesting this, as I say, because when you look at your particular brand, whatever you're doing, you really need, brand sponsorship. There's no two ways about it. Everything now is virtually funded by somebody. And then, of course, the cream of the crop is the stuff on top. That's why I've said to you before here on this channel, I don't want you to pay for anything. I'm not asking you to sponsor me, buy me a coffee or anything like that. Life is already taking too much out of us, isn't it, with the cost of living crisis? And it's nice, as I say, to build a community of good friends and chums. But wherever you turn, you're being asked for money. And that really is the problem for Meghan now. She launches this new venture, shall we say, American Riviera. You see, the bigger problem for Meghan now is truly this. If you recall this particular episode, remember this? Now, these were stress patches, apparently, that Meghan was forced to wear, but very conveniently managed to roll the sleeve back of her jacket to make sure that we all saw them. Now, I don't know about you, I'd never heard of stress patches before, didn't really even know what they were. I thought, wow, what is that? Does it work? That sort of stuff. Now, according to a very well-placed source, and as ever we have to say allegedly, within that brand, yes, there was a lot of interest, a lot of traffic on the website and people looking at it, but not necessarily that much uptake, not many buyers. Now, that's not to say, of course, that's all down to Meghan Markle. One might suggest that people don't necessarily want something like that. It is rather niche. And as I pointed out in the start of this video, Meghan herself is certainly looking for a brand that has a lot of dollar behind them and no doubt also a worldwide name. But this is where it gets difficult, as I say, because moving forward for somebody like Meghan Markle, where does she find this sort of person? Or indeed, where does her brand new team, William Morris Endeavour, find that person? And that is the thing that they're tasked with now, to try and get this money behind the brand to make sure that they have enough, at least to shore it up for a year to see if it will take off. Now, as I said, I've had experience with these things before. Holly Willoughby over here in the United Kingdom famously split from an entrepreneur who basically, was willing to fund quite a lot of it. But for some explicable reason, Holly pulled out at the last minute. A lot of money allegedly was lost and seemingly the brand went to pot. So these are no fly-by-night things. You really have to work at it. And more importantly, you have to find somebody who's willing to invest a lot. I've been told for a lifestyle brand, the minimum would be 1 million. A lot of money to risk on some venture that so far has yet to prove any salt. And more importantly, all they're looking at is a very fuzzy Instagram video and a web page with nothing on it. So for Meghan, if she thought that those particular stress patches were giving her stress, think about what her team have now got to do. No doubt they could be clutching for the stretch patches faster than Meghan did when she got photographed, to no avail. As ever, it is a developing story. When I know more, you'll know more. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.